Hello and welcome to Off the Script podcast with me, Jack Richardson, and my guests.
Hi, I'm Jermaine. I'm the guest.
Hi, Jermaine. Tell us your origins. Tell me the first time.
Right, guys. So yeah, I saw Arnold in a magazine at 15 years old, and I never looked back. Yeah, that's it. That'll do. Joe, your turn.
15. That's the question.
Say what?
Were you 15 or was Arnold 15?
Yes, I'm actually like in my 80s or 90s. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah, man. What have you got? Benjamin Button's disease?
yes, absolutely. I just keep getting younger. I'm actually like, I mean, give me 10 years and I'll be a child. You know, feels bad, man. Things I've seen. Fought in World War II looking like a granddad. Made out a lot of, yeah. You guys finished setting up? You good, Joe? Joe, what are you doing? Stop poking the screen.
Apologies, I lost my audio for a minute.
Oh, okay, we're all good then. So, welcome back to the Off the Script podcast. We have Jack on. It's been a while since we've had Jack on. We've needed Jack on. People have missed Jack. We've missed Jack. Welcome back.
Too, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good.
A pleasure.
Yeah. So, how do we want to start this, Joe? I know you all...
I think we should go all the way back to why we started training. No, I'm joking.
Fuck off. Yeah, don't do that, please.
I want to know what Jack's up to right now, to start off with. Anything interesting been happening in the life of Mr. Ricardo?
Do you know what? It's really it's been a game of trying to train, really. And I think, a lot of people can relate to that. And, I've spent a lot of time and effort to just try to train and a lot of money actually as well. And so I'm just, at the moment, I'm just waiting for the gyms to open. There's nothing that's really too standoutish. I'm just, keeping my head down, training when I can, doing a little bit of coaching, nothing too crazy. But I have had a little bit of a tough time trying to train. I suppose you guys have heard about like the whole prophecy incident and
yeah,
like that. I've spent about like the irony of the situation is I spent about 700 quid trying to train, and I could have just brought fucking equipment. I can't train at any of the places that I've spent the money on memberships.
Yeah.
So obviously for me, not just for me, it's for my missus as well. But yeah, it's just been a little
man
in that regard. But I have been quite fortunate with what I've been able to have access to. So
yeah,
it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's. I was a bit like that in the first lockdown, where like I bought a good amount of kit in the first lockdown, but I was still just like, fuck, I just need to start training in the gym again. And like, other than towards the end where I got given that opportunity by one gym, like that's outside, not even in my city, outside my city that I was traveling to on a near daily basis. Like apart from that, yeah, I didn't have anything else, and it was just a case of I was like, well, fuck, like I've just got to buy kit, and I think for a lot of people, probably bought kit in the first lockdown as well, and then sold it all immediately after that first lockdown.
Yeah, I knew a friend who did that. And it was like literally the week before the second lockdown came, and he was like, wow. He brought it for a price, sold it cheaper, and he fucked himself basically.
That sucks, man. Yeah. Thank fuck I held on to all my kit.
The issue is like we've had no warning of it.
Yeah.
And this is where I got myself in a bit of a pickle with memberships, because I'm like, right, cool, I'll sign up to a gym to try to escape like tier 3 or whatever. And then I got into a position, obviously the lockdown happened. A couple of days after that, I'm like, fuck, and it's just the lack of warning. You can't really for it, and it affects everyone. it's a little bit shit like that. But
yeah, it's I feel like I mean I'd rather not get into the topic of how I feel about the way this whole situation's been managed.
I presume we all feel the same way anyway.
Yeah. But
I think we've all been just preached to the choir. I think a lot of people are just really fucking missing the gym. We're all counted down the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, got our timers on
and smell other people's sweat. Yes. So
yeah, man. I think as well a good takeaway maybe from this past year for me has been how much I've realized these things matter to me.
Yes.
And that appreciation for the act of going to a gym and having that freedom to train, like that now means so much more to me. And I was talking to Joe, Rod, right? So I was talking to one of our friends, Rod, about it. And I was just like, I have no doubt that this process, as much as I hate it and everyone else hates it, has without a doubt made me a better bodybuilder, because it's made me appreciate the smallest things and made me want to do more with the smallest things as well, because that's all I've had to work with. So
been doing that all my life, mate. Sadly.
Fucking show off. He's been in lockdown the whole time.
I was talking about the size of my phallus, but
Of course.
Yeah,
standard.
It's good that you mentioned that though. But we haven't done one of these. I haven't been on for about a month. You've been really taking the reins with the podcast and having guests on while I've not been here. What you been up to the last couple of weeks, Jermaine?
Mate, honestly, I've been fairly locked in. I've training has gotten better, but it's still fairly inconsistent considering, where I was at the start of this year. But at the end of the day, I've got certain priorities which I have to take care of now, and I'd rather take care of now. So when it comes around to the gym's opening, I'm in a position where I have nothing stopping me. So for me, I've got my dissertation. I've still got ongoing projects for my degree. And it's in my final year. So as soon as that shit's sorted, which I want to get sorted as soon as possible, it's going to put me in a better position anyway when I want to do stuff that I really want to do right now, which is obviously increase my client base when the gym's open, and also just being a good ability to travel, train, try different stuff, go to different gyms, see people who I haven't seen in a year. So in terms of priorities, my priorities have been very much geared towards me getting through my degree. It's not I live in central Birmingham, and it's in some ways anarchy here. Mainly just because obviously you can't really do anything, but there's some videos that I think I've sent you, Joe, and now you, Jack, as well, where it's just I don't want to even be outside half the time considering what Birmingham's like. So I'd rather be inside. Aside from doing steps, which I go out for literally once a day, I'll do 15K steps in one go. I'll just go and just walk for hours and along a canal or something, and then come back. But then the rest of the time, I'm pretty much in my flat, either training or cooking or studying, and that's where I'm at right now.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Living the monk life at the minute.
It's been fairly monotonous for me, but I am looking forward to April the 18th because I booked him for Patrick Tour and Ben
yeah.
Seminar
yeah.
thing.
That's gonna be good.
I thought, let me treat myself. Why not? Because obviously I'm doing strength and conditioning degree as well, same as Jermaine. But learning more from specifics for bodybuilding is always going to be good. And investing the money that I have a minute into that, it's not going to do anything negative. And although I'm not in a position where I want to coach anyone yet, because I don't feel comfortable doing it, because I've not necessarily done so much with my own physique anyway. I'm not going to take the piss and take someone's money or waste their time with the potential that I'm not going to provide them with the results I would want from a coach. But learning more now it's just what I want to do. So fucking do it.
Yeah, I like Patrick as well. I like his approach to stuff.
Same, yeah. A lot of the stuff like he's talked about in the past, I've started applying a bit more to myself. So, which is very smart guy. I wish I'd had that sort of stuff, or like even known about that sort of stuff when I was like in year 1 of uni. So yeah, it's awesome that you're kind of ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, it's a bit boring at the minute in terms of what's actually going on in the course because I already know most of the stuff.
Yeah.
You just got to listen to some fucking.
That's what I was like as well, year 1.
4 hours just talking about stuff that I can't apply where I want to. I don't particularly want to work with team athletes or anything like that.
Our course is annoying, right? Like, or like strength and conditioning as a degree is annoying because chances are most people who are doing that degree, to validate themselves to even get on the course, they'll have done PT qualifications or nutrition qualifications or sports science-based qualifications.
I have none.
They know, you have none, but you still know this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So why are we talking about this stuff in the course?
The only reason I got on the course was because the country shut down and international students can't get in. I don't have an A-level in science. I don't have a BTEC in science or psychology or anything like that. Everything I did was literature based, and performance based. So I was like, all right, let me do this. It's what I'm interested in. There's an opportunity to do it. I'm going to do it. There you go.
Fuck, man.
Because obviously I was doing marketing and it was boring and I stopped. And now I want to do what I actually enjoy. So
yeah, for sure, man. That's the best thing to do, especially right now. Do what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
But no, the reason I wanted to have Jack on specifically is we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what we was talking about. I think we was talking about Phil Heath.
Yeah.
In messages and stuff, and about all the backlash and stuff he was getting. And Jack is one of the few people that we have on the podcast who actually pays attention to the history of the sport and things like that. And with the gyms opening in 2 weeks, I just want to. I said to Jack and you, let's talk about what bodybuilding really means to us and why in 2 weeks' time we're going to go hell for leather and knuckle down and probably be even more unsociable than we are right now.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So you, as you're the guest, Jack, tell us what it is, why you want to do it.
Why I want to do bodybuilding.
Not so much why you got into it or anything like that, because everybody knows.
What is your why? Yeah, that's a loaded question.
Yeah. To be fair, literally, I just with bodybuilding, I can see something that I'm fully in charge of, and it's got like pretty much unlimited potential with the progressive elements of it, and that excites the shit out of me. It means I have full control of that. I'm not dependent on any teammates, whatever. So that's why bodybuilding for me is something that's very viable. And for me, I've never been interested in sports. I was that guy in school who would just forget his PE kit on purpose, not fucking interested. And if you were to ask me what I was going to be doing, it was like anything not sports related. But when I went into the gym, I was like, wow, cool. This is my shit. And it literally hit me. I was addicted to the gym. I found bodybuilding with my love of training solidified going into bodybuilding because I loved training. I love being progressive with it, and bodybuilding allows me the opportunity to do something with that, to create a career. There's so much you could do. And when I first started bodybuilding, a lot of people was telling me, it's like, it's a waste of time. There's no money in it. You will not gain anything out of it. And first of all, the initially it was just because I was passionate, but again, you can make a really decent living out of it. There's so many different ways. And obviously, as I started developing my own physique, I started getting into bodybuilding itself. And so the initial interest was probably mainly because I can have that progressive element, and I can potentially do well at it if I apply myself. That's what I like about bodybuilding, is the more you apply yourself, the better you're going to become.
Yeah.
Because the other sports, I could apply myself and I could be just shit anyway, you know what I mean? So, you know, with bodybuilding, I could apply myself, and the more I apply myself, the more the results I'm going to get, you know, and I fucking love that. And I find with bodybuilding, you know, I find the people also in bodybuilding are so like-minded in that regards. You know, they like going in, and they like the soul aspect of working towards their own progression by themselves. You know, the sport in itself, like, I just found was thrilling. Just to see these physiques, and to see, like, I know we joked about it at the start, and it is cliche, but I think we all started when we look at Arnold and we're like, right, cool, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I did. And then it was kind of like,
I think it was Batista for me.
yeah,
100%.
Yeah, you always see someone. There's always someone you see, and you're like, "Whoa,
yeah,
that's it."
yeah. And like for me, and it was like I sort of just went through. I was like, oh, golden era, it's so great. And then I just went through the different eras. And then I was like, I looked at modern bodybuilding. The more I understood about bodybuilding, the more I got into it, the more I got the eye for it, the more I had this new appreciation for it. And I just thought it was fantastic. And, you know, because when you first get into bodybuilding, I don't know about you guys, but I just thought about it. I'm like, you know, the very, very first, or just seeing bodybuilding for the first time, you see two physiques, you see the lineup, everyone looks very similar. And now you get this new eye when you're very much into bodybuilding. You see that lineup, you go, wow, okay, he's coming that place, that place, that place, that place. And I just think, you know, it's brilliant, you know, and I'm forever looking at these guys now and thinking, I want to get there. I'm looking at pros as somewhere, like, I'm not fucking interested in a lot of celebrities. A lot of, you know, a lot of people where they aspire to be like someone like fucking Kim Kardashian or whatever. I'm looking at physiques, and I'm like, shit, I want to look that extreme. I want to look that freaky, you know, because to me, that is just pure graft that money cannot buy, you know?
Yeah. It's literally priceless.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's fucking phenomenal. And I'm a little bit of a nerd as well. I love the science aspect of it as well. Like, I love how you could be very anecdotal about it, and you can apply different theories, and there's a lot of trial and error, and you know, you can sort of experiment. You could go, right, okay, I want to try to get this look. I'm going to try to do this to get there. And then you take out the things that don't work, keep in the things that you do. And that's why I came into coaching, because not only do I like obviously doing that with my own physique, I like doing that with other people's physiques, and trying to fucking, it's like a project, you know. The way I see it, it's like a project. It's like someone who's entering a car for a car show, and you know, they're obviously doing everything they can to make it look how it needs to do as a project, and then it's all ready when obviously on the day. And that's how I see bodybuilding, really. Like, you're working on this project, and I'm not really too fucking concerned with my physique outside of what it looks like on the stage, you know. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, right, okay, this is a big project I'm going to try to work on, ready for show day. Yeah. I'm going to do whatever it is to get that look that I need to get for that show day. So, you know, if that means getting a little bit fluffy, that look means looking a little bit more shit, you know, before I look better, then so be it. You know, it's all part of the process. And this is why I love the process. Like,
awesome, man. Yeah, it's I was actually talking to a client about this the other day, and I applied very similar logic to you, in that like they were saying to me how they feel like they don't even really know what they'll feel like, or if they'll actually feel good or feel like they've accomplished much when they get to what they think is their sort of like body goal. And I was saying to them, and that's kind of the beauty of it. No, you're constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly learning, and eventually, like as a result of that, like constant trial and error, you get to a point where like the point we're at now, where we know I think a hell of a lot, and we're in a position as well to help other people, you know. And actually put like time back into that, and it's like it's come full circle now, and the people who like might have been helping me in my first like 6 months of training, who were PTs at the gym when I started, I'm now in a position to help some like the next, you know, me or you, like, you know. And that's also something for me that's super gratifying. I find that really cool. That
absolutely, man.
Yeah,
you could be like, it's not just being progressive within your physique. You know, you're being progressive within you.
Yeah.
You're evolving. You know, I literally, like in bodybuilding, I'm sure you guys can relate. Like, I feel like I'm fucking evolving as my physique does. Not only in regards to my physique, but as a person as well. You know, I'm feeling like the structure, the discipline of bodybuilding itself teaches me a lot of lessons within life that I could apply elsewhere. That if I didn't have bodybuilding, I probably wouldn't have been the person I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And it teaches me. It's a great teacher, I find, with bodybuilding. You know, I like, for example, if I was at bodybuilding, I would be asked about what time to go to bed, about, you know, I would be asked to be, you know, consistently sleeping well, consistently staying hydrated, consistently eating well, you know, having a type of structure.
Yeah.
I would probably be some fucking bum on the Xbox all the time. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think
you've obviously got a lot of self-discipline and everything that comes with it, but overall, I think it teaches you to actually fucking have some respect for yourself. Like, especially when I first started, I was coming from a bad situation, like 14, 15 years old. I'd injured myself playing sport. I was going through a shit time with relationships in school and things like this. And I first went to the gym and I was like, okay, that feels all right. And I'd done some strength training before for football, but it was always to get better at that. And then 6 weeks later, I looked at pictures of myself before I'd started training to now, and my diet was shit, man. Fuck me. Like every day.
Always is to begin with.
You know the Nestle Gold bars?
Yeah.
I'd go for a pack of them a day. And after school, I'd go to Greg's. But I'd always say to my mom, but it's okay because I'm eating 3 tuna sandwiches. I'm getting my protein in. It's fine.
Oh my God, dude.
And tuna sandwiches was the one with some sweet corn in there. And I looked at pictures and I was like, hang on, that tricep wasn't there 6 weeks ago. So the physical progression changed my mentality towards what is actually possible, because it's actually growing on you. It's not like scoring a goal in football where there's rules and you have to do that to win. It's literally you've put the graft in and you've physically grown as a person. And alongside that, your mental capacity to understand what is even realistic or what is physically possible, it changes as you develop. And it's been one of the toughest things for me over the past 2 years of minimal progression with my physique because of health reasons and whatever, that my mindset stagnated. You know, I was going nowhere. I was out of uni for a year. There was nothing. There was a part-time job, which was shit. My relationship went to shit. And then my health was good for a bit. I started training again just before everything got shut down. And I was like, all right, this is it now. I need to actually make this shit count, because otherwise I'm going to lose everything. Because I'd lost the ability to find myself again, if you understand what I mean. Because sometimes, you know, you get stuck in a rut and you forget that respect for yourself that actually got you where you are in the first place.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just really, really fucking excited to start training again.
Yeah, me too, man. It's
that, or I'm going to end up smashing someone's face in.
anarchy. Yeah, it's I think I'm quite similar to you, Joe, in that I do have. I think it's safe to say an emotional investment in bodybuilding.
I have complete emotional detachment to my physique, which I've had to learn the past
Yeah.
2 years, where I've looked like shit, and if I have a flare up, I look watery as fuck, and I look like 25 pounds heavier than I was the day before, even though I'm 5 pounds lighter and all.
Yeah.
Emotional attachment to my physique is gone, but my emotional attachment to visualizing the goal in hand and what I know is possible.
Yeah.
From what I started when I was healthy, I know for a fact I can. When I apply myself, good things happen when it comes to this.
Yeah.
You know, I was always that middle of the road kid in terms of who got picked for the team and things like that. I was always like, he's all right at that. Doesn't do anything particularly great. Doesn't do anything particularly bad. But taking full responsibility with this, as long as I'm healthy, I know for a fact. Like, I wanted to compete last year, that didn't happen. I wanted to compete this year, that didn't happen. But I do truly believe a year solid of training before dieting, and 2023, I will step on stage and be very competitive, because that's what I want. And it's 3 years later than I wanted it to be, but I'm just really, really hungry for it.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
It's making up for the time that I've lost. So
yeah, I think also, like, this is one thing. I feel like we're airing out some dirty laundry now. For me, I think this sport has helped me deal with like an issue I've had since I was like a kid, which is self-sabotage.
Yep.
I have a issue with, and always have had it with, like being put in a situation where I have a choice that can be made.
Yep.
And if I choose the right option and I know it's the right option, I will likely choose the wrong option for whatever reason, because I'm either afraid of the unknown or afraid of like my own potential in some way, like afraid to see something to its end. And bodybuilding has been that one constant in my life which has gone against that grain always, and it's dictated so much of my life. So like me being 15 years old, and like aside from like bullying issues and stuff like that, me being able to, as a result of my compromised, I guess, sense of self and like, you know, and ability to detach myself from stuff like that emotionally, that led to me just shutting stuff down, like shutting down relationships with friends, social events, going out places, stuff like that. Not like agoraphobic, not like I'm not going outside at all, but like social interaction and how I deal with situations just like went to shit. And it was very much a case of when I found the gym, it was that one thing, especially at the time and even now, where it was the one thing that would continue to move, regardless of everything else. And it taught me that, if nothing breaks, nothing moves. Like you've got to make a change at some point, right? And it's been a constant change and a constant process of change the entire time. Me prepping in 2019 under AJ, especially, that was a big thing for me. Mainly because it was one of the few things in my life that I could be genuinely proud of, that I had actually seen to fruition. And as a result, that's made me even more invested in that goal and that ambition, and actually put trust for once in like my ability to succeed in that. And that is why that means so much to me, because it has actually taught me a lot of life lessons, which I think has and will lead me to a better quality of life, so cheers bodybuilding. Thank you. Yeah, that's my rant over. Who's taking over?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I think a lot of bodybuilding is such a great tool to help like emotionally and mentally with things. I find like a lot of people who are very passionate with bodybuilding, very passionate with the training, without the training, without going to the gym, they'd probably struggle with some stuff. They'd probably be susceptible to some shit going on mentally. I just find that from speaking to people, again, like you find a lot of like-minded people, and a lot of people are in it for very similar reasons.
Yeah.
One of the things that have stuck out to me during this lockdown is how important it is for mental health, and how many people depend on our not only just bodybuilding, just going to the gym. Itself, for good mental health. Like, you know, as a coach, I've got clients myself, and I've had these clients who've literally, you know, they've literally been struggling, you know, and that's affected other aspects in their life. You know, it's had a reverse effect, you know, so because they're not able to release any stress, they're feeling more stressed, and they're feeling, you know, struggling with more things. You know, they're struggling to manage the work, their home life, whatever, and it all piles on top. And again, this is something that I can personally relate to. There have been incidences where I've personally struggled to get to training. I've noticed, like, wow, I feel like a different person. I don't feel like the person I usually am. And that is just from training missing. I didn't really think it would have that effect. I knew that it helped. I knew it made me feel good. But because I'd been training for that long, I'd probably forgotten how much of a benefit it was, you know. And this is the perspective that's been given to myself through being restricted. And adversity will always provide perspective. So it's like you've said, Jermaine. It's like, you know, appreciating the little things, you know, and going back into it.
It's like, I can't imagine, not so much myself, but I know people who have said to me, "I'm not using that machine. It's shit. I'm not doing that exercise. It's shit." Well, fuck me. The fact that we've had, probably most of us have had to do about 25 different fucking exercises with the same piece of equipment for the last year, and a lot of people have still made good progress. I do wonder what people's, if that's going to stick with people. I know it's going to stick with me. I do wonder if people are going to switch back to the mentality they had before. If there are, I think the people that want to learn from the situation will, and the people that are complete wankers probably won't.
I'll never really go with the rule of thumb of, I think that machine's shit anymore. I didn't really before, but especially not now. It's very
sitting at home twiddling your thumbs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more a case for me of, okay, like, how can you optimize it to a degree where it's actually, you know, a good piece of kit, or a viable piece of kit, and it's doing the best for you. Literally something like, I don't know, someone might not agree with a hammer strength incline press, plate loaded. But hey, look, if they'd have shifted their ass towards the front of the seat or something, it's an entirely different ball game, and they might be the best piece of kit for them. You never know. So
yeah, you got to get around with it, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know what you're saying about that specific piece of kit. Like, I spent quite a while just adjusting the seat to just find it, and as soon as I got that perfect spot, I was growing titties.
Yeah, that's how it works. You find that sweet spot, and the rest is history. And then
I do prefer the flat ones, though. I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't done flat work in so long, mate.
Not as in flat bench, like the seated flat hammer press.
Yeah, I haven't done any flat work. I do love it though. I do messy. It's just I haven't done it in a while, and I feel like it just fucks with my shoulders a little bit.
I'm like that with incline.
So, really?
Yeah. Apart from incline free weight barbell, if it's incline Smith, I think because my scapula is slightly impinged, if I have to contract and stabilize my scapula myself, it helps me feel better through the chest due to my impingement. Whereas someone with a healthy scapula is probably the other way around. So I sort of need to stabilize myself rather than have something else stabilize it. That's probably it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more flat work, obviously, in lockdown. Like I used to be big into flat benching, to the point where it was like my strongest lift for a disgustingly long amount of time. Like being 16 years old and 1 rep maxing like 120 on flat bench is fucking stupid.
Same, you know, I was the exact same. Flat bench, and you think, right, fuck, I'm gonna Arnold the fuck out of this lift, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably the reason why I've got to save the children chest, you know.
It happens, man. I think in many ways it was a blessing that I kind of fucked my my pec when I did, and it was only a minor issue, because
Please don't talk to me about pec injuries, my God.
I won't. Okay, yeah, I'll try and avoid it after the horror that we all saw.
Especially because incline pressing programmed into our program.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I may never return to incline again. Actually,
Yeah.
Or just I think I'm only going to do reps.
I was enjoying barbell so much as well.
Yeah. What is your favorite chest exercise, Jack?
I really like dumbbells. I do like dumbbells. Recently, before the lockdown, I was really getting into incline barbell. Quite cool. I'm finding the barbell was good because I didn't have to fuck around with rolling out the dumbbells and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I was finding that like my lifts were going up, but then I just had to warm up more, and then I had to get the fucking dumbbells on and shit like that, and that was a ball ache, and it just took forever. So barbell sort of navigated away from that, and I could just press, put a plate on, easy. So I think I might return to the incline barbell, actually.
Living on the edge.
Yeah. But like I'm going to be very cautious, very, very cautious. I don't think anyone's going to approach an incline barbell.
I reckon it's always going to be free now, so that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, literally, no one's going on that ever again, because it's scary shit, man. It is scary shit. But I think people needed to see something like that. They did, because this happens. That isn't just a rare instance. That happens a lot, you know. It was just that this guy had a platform, so people more people see, you know. But that genuinely fucking happens, and it just goes to show you just got to be fucking careful. Any time.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who have pec tears don't go in and go, I think I might have a pec tear today.
Yeah. Usually it's when they've done that one thing different, like they haven't warmed up, or something like that.
Well, they're going in extremely low rep range, you know, and they're not used to training like that. They're not like used to training in 1 or 2 reps, you know. And that could really fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Like I try to avoid shit like that, and you know, this is why I try to pre-exhaust my chest before and stuff, and I just try to just, you know, almost like try to get myself using less load on the compounds, pretty much for that reason, and you know, again, go with a decent rep range alongside it.
It's very much Jay Cutler-esque, right? When you think of when we were talking to Matt Tofton, he was like, train to muscular failure, not physical failure, where everything's fucked and the lift fails. Train till your muscle that you're training fails. Yeah,
it's like actual focused mechanical failure, of that muscle.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing, because you know, you could go in a set and you could go to failure and then having someone force reps with you and whatever, or you could go to mechanical failure. That additional energy you put into your next fucking set, right? You're probably still going to get the exact same out of it, because you're putting more into the next set. You're not going beyond failure. Compromised position where you can pick up injuries. And that's why I don't really fuck with forced reps anymore, especially on compound movements like the incline bar.
Yeah, if it's compounds, fuck doing that. Like if I'm doing like anything that's like of sufficient load where this bar could crush me, I'm not doing it. I'm not forcing anything.
If your form breaks down, say like on a barbell squat, if your form breaks down at all, like me personally, I'm pulling that back, you know.
Yeah.
Feel like, even if I feel like the next rep, my form's gonna go off. Like it only takes, you know, a decent load, and you fucking move yourself out of line a little bit before something to pop, and you're walking around like this all week.
Yeah.
I've done that, man. I've done that, and it's shit. It's shit, man.
Yeah. I have the same issue, like on occasion where like I'll be in the kitchen training legs with my flatmate. We'll be barbell squatting and we'll get up to like, let's say 170 or something. And at 170, I'll be like still warming up. He's like, no, you have like 5 more reps. I'm like, yeah, that's not the point. That's not why I'm doing that. Like, and like I had to go up to 185 and do a fucking 1RM max test because I needed to for my fucking course, and I did not like that. And and when I was doing it, so I got to 185. I realistically could have probably got 4 or 5 reps with it. And my fucking flatmate was like, "Oh, you should have done more reps with it." I'm like, "No, absolutely fucking not. Yeah. Like, this is not like the ball game I'm willing to play. Like, I'm someone who's still got a chronic issue with my ankle. I'm not willing to take those sort of risks. Like,
I've only been on the course 5 months, and I've completely flat out refused to do 3 of the tests so far.
Yeah.
Because they was doing a flat bench with the force fucking meter that they put on the bar or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Was the thing. And they were like, okay, do as many reps as you can till failure with 85% of 1RM or whatever. I was like, okay. So I was literally doing about 4-second negatives and did about 4 reps with, like, I don't know, like fucking 60 kilo on the bar.
Yeah.
And they were like, is that it? I was like, yep, my chest has reached failure. And we just walked away.
Yeah.
You can't use the data.
You're not wrong.
Like, reach full failure. I went, are you feeling my chest right now? I cannot do any more reps. And they're like, well, we don't know how you've reached failure so fast if that's so suboptimal. I was like, because I know how to contract my pecs.
Yeah.
You've got, and then the guy after me was there with about, he must have been, it looked like a string bean, and he had more weight on the bar. But I was just thinking, if the wind blows the wrong way, you that's it for your tendon.
Yeah.
You know.
I think a good way of doing that, maybe try and get them on your course, because you have the ability to do it on your course. Get them to take an EMG and attach one to your pec versus someone else's pec, and prove that point, and just be like, there's a reason why I reach mechanical failure quicker than people, like generally, because I know how to contract a muscle, and you could show it with science.
You'd be surprised at the amount of people that don't have that perspective.
Yeah.
You would be surprised, you know. And when I was younger, I definitely did not have that. It was all about,
oh, fuck that. When I first started, I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah. Like, lift as heavy as fucking possible, you know. I'm invincible. I just want to do fucking 1 rep maxes all the time.
Yeah.
Want to lift as much as possible, and that's how I ended up with a very shit back. You know, and now obviously it's very clear to me that it's like I'm going into an exercise to get the maximum amount of stimulus, and you've got to choose the correct load, and there's a very fine line with it. You can easily go under, and you can easily go over.
Yeah.
And pretty much only you can really sort of dictate whether that is the exact place you want to be.
Yeah.
And it's about experimenting. It's about, again, it's a lot of trial and error. It's like, right, okay, this load works for me. Oh no, okay, there was a little bit of my form breakdown there, so I lighter the load a little bit. Yes, okay, this feels absolutely bang on, you know. And a lot of people are just too impatient to do that, I find. You know, when I've told a lot of people, like, you want to lower the weight, they're like looking at me, they're like thinking I'm crazy, because a lot of people are looking at looking at individuals like the big guys lifting big fucking weight, but they're lifting big weight with good form.
Yeah.
They've spent time building up that weight with proper form. You know, if you're using proper form in an exercise, you're going to progress more, obviously. But if you're lifting too heavy, you will affect the amount of progress that you get. And that's the irony of the situation. People are like, right, cool. You know, they're very eager to up the weight.
Yeah.
Like, lift as heavy as possible because I need to be progressing as much. And they don't realize how much they're hindering their own progress by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's good to have a progressive point on maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 exercises, depending on obviously recovery and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's certain exercises where if you keep progressing it, it just becomes completely fucking redundant. Like, yes, I want to deadlift a back squat or deadlift or bench press or whatever. I don't particularly need to care about progressing a pec fly as fast as I can. It's not the purpose of the exercise. And this is my opinion. You both might disagree. I'm not saying completely just get rid of the idea of progressing. It's just that shouldn't be the priority for that movement. Whereas something like a deadlift, where there is a lot of other stuff, like factors that are involved. You're not just using your back. You know, it's raw power and strength. You have to pull that off the floor consistently. You do want to progress that because that strength carryover will go to other exercises as well. I'm not someone who's going to go on a seated hamstring curl and really give a shit about progressing that movement, do or die every week or anything like that. And not anymore, anyway.
Yeah, I think you know, being progressive with lifts is essential. It is, you know, that is what's going to grow you. But you need to, when you see your load going up on a lift, you need to see what's progressing that lift. Are you getting stronger?
Yeah.
Like videoing, I think is brilliant for this because quite often I will see people that I'll see my clients and like, yes, I've progressed or whatever, or even myself. Just use myself as an example. I'm like, cool, yes, I'm in the set. And I'm like, yeah, cool, I've progressed. I look at it, I'm like, okay, I've progressed.
Yeah.
My range of motion is probably a little bit shorter, or I was a little bit faster with those reps, you know. And then I could go, right, okay, and hold myself accountable to that. And then go, right, cool, I'm going to step on that weight next time, have it a little bit neater. And, you know, by just cleaning up the execution, that's a progression in itself.
Yeah. It's all good to test out new weights and whatever. And it's the way I started doing it a while back was, okay, I'd do this 2 kilogram increase on a lift or whatever. If the form was like 10% worse, the following week, rectify the form and look at the footage from the previous week and compare the two. If they're the same, you've progressed.
I think that's brilliant, mate. Yeah. I think that is a really good way to do it. And personally, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but personally, I could go into a little bit of a hole with the logbook.
Yeah.
And you know, you're looking at the numbers consistently, like, right, cool, I'm going to progress the reps or I'm going to progress the load, whatever, and be progressive with it. And I've been in the mindset of chasing that. And I'm like, I need to get more reps, I need to go whatever. And I don't realize, because I'm not filming it or anything, I'm just going solely on the logbook. I don't realize what cost that progression's coming from.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my logbook's indicating that I'm making progress. And I'm just being completely oblivious to, again, where the progress is coming from. So I've sort of stepped a little bit back from the logbook, and my approach to training now is I'm going into a set and I'm going to perform this set to failure, because I don't have an issue with going to failure. I don't need a logbook to motivate me to go to failure. And I'm going to do it with good form. And then after, I'll review the video and count the reps. If I've progressed the reps, brilliant, cool. And if the form's cool, then awesome. You know, I know that I've made a progression. So I know that I'm progressively overloading. And that, to me, is a better way of me keeping myself accountable to progressing the right way.
And besides videos as well, just look at your fucking physique.
If
you've increased 40 kilos on the deadlift in 3 months or something, and your posterior chain or whatever is not better, yes, it's acute and stuff like that, and it depends on, if you've actually given yourself enough time to respond to that stimulus or whatever. But you should have, and if you look the same or worse, you're just pissing in the wind.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on with that, mate, because that's something.
Visual sport at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, that's something in the past that, again, I've not really taken into account. Again, I've neglected looking at my back, and I've been like, I'm doing the workouts, I'm doing the exercises, I'm progressing the lifts, and I haven't looked at my back and connected it with. That's not developing like the other places are.
Yeah.
So I'm not, and I really should have been thinking, I need to do something different with what I'm doing with my back.
The only reason we know all this is because we fucking done it.
It's experience at the end of the day. And I think obviously the beauty of speaking about this on a podcast is someone could fast track themselves to get into that point.
Sure. Yeah.
Perspective. I wish I listened to that. I wish I had that information out there. But sometimes experience will be the best teacher. Also, that
use at home, take notes. Also, another thing on the topic of progression, like that. I agree with both of you, and to bring something a bit more new to the table, I think that progressive overload at the end of the day is very multifaceted. And what else do we have besides load? We have volume, intensity, load itself. We have level, time of detention, stuff like that. We have a lot of tools in the shed, and I agree that while, like you said, Jack, the driving force behind a lot of progression is increased load with good, consistent form, week on week on week. I also feel like, especially in the past year for me, being introduced to more concepts around training, like, how to get the most out of intensity amplifiers in the set. So doing your rest pauses, doing your Widowmaker sets, doing all that stuff is like still also very important. And while load might stagnate because the intensity is ridiculously high as it is, so be it. It's still got a place. And like one exercise that I have done now for like almost 2 years straight, and it's not moved, is on one leg rotation, I'll always do a single leg press, and it will always be a muscle round, and it will always be in some capacity. And that has always been an exercise which has had like a huge impact on how my leg looks, for example, from the side, like from a side pose, and the side quad, the IT band, stuff like that. So I think while yes, increased load, always focus on that being a main, like predominant, like driver for hypertrophy and growth. Still consider those other factors because they're still relevant, and at some point you're going to need them in the tool shed.
Absolutely, yeah. No, you will definitely, especially when you reach a certain strength, you will. And you're absolutely right. There's so many ways you can delve into progressive overload more so than just load. And this is just going back to Patrick. This is why I like his methods, because he works with a lot of strong dudes, such as James Holland said.
Absolutely.
Strong dudes, and he's not really going to gain too much by just progressing off the foot. He without significantly just rising the risk of injury, like the risk to reward from that isn't really great. So he puts in different methods to progress his athletes, and keeping them out of harm's way. Which again, this is why I find it quite interesting, because you can get to a point. Like, it's hard to get to this point, don't get me wrong, but you can definitely get to a point where where increasing load is just irrelevant.
Yeah.
And you will have to opt for different ways.
It'll take you some time to get there, but you'll get there at some point.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like you can, like for myself, I've put in different things where I could just be, you know, a little bit less eager with the load, and I could just stick on load and progress it in different ways, just like making a set more consistent. For example, on my hack squat, just not spending a lot of time at the top, because that's something I used to do. I thought, okay, I need to get the most out of this. I need to lift as heavy as possible, and I'm there, I'm like, 5 seconds in between fucking reps, man.
Yeah.
Again, that's something I caught myself doing. I'm like, well, I could get more out of it if I was just more consistent with it.
It's true, because a lot of people don't consider, you know, your aerobic capacity and ability to work.
Yeah.
And especially, you're a lot heavier than I am, Jack, and Jermaine at the minute, especially. So it's like a lot of shit is important, you know. Cardiovascularly is very important.
Yeah.
If you're resting 5-10 seconds at the end of a rep, is that now a new set? Have you completed a new set after you've had that 10, maybe 15-second rest? I've been there on a leg press, you know, you fucking, and then your training partner's telling you to come on, you got to move it and all that, and then you
come on.
One more, get the pump. Do it. I believe in
you. God damn it.
Has that 10-15 seconds given you another 2 reps of that set, or is that you now starting a new set? If you get what I mean. You know, I just ramble a load of shit today. It's brilliant. I love
it. Yeah, I think there's a limit to how long you can reasonably rest within a set while still calling it the same set. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know,
the way I see it, right, is I watched Blood and Guts again the other day, as I do often, and speaking of hack squat, when Dorian's on that hack squat, I think he's done about 5-6 reps. On that final rep, he just takes one breath, he's back down, failure, finished, set, completely finished. He's fucked, nothing else to give. He's not going to sit there for another 10 seconds, breathing in and out to get one more rep, when that energy can be better used elsewhere. You know?
Yeah. You put it into your next set, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit! Robbie's got the same mic as me.
Oh, very nice.
For his podcast, those fuckers copying me. I see what you're doing.
Right. I'm calling
with your Rode mic.
Tim Stewart was initially a member of this podcast, and then 2 weeks afterwards he goes, I can't do the podcast anymore, I'm too busy. A month later, oh, look what's releasing. Tim Stewart, Robbie, took him on podcast. Brilliant, you cunt.
Shit. Yeah.
No, I love Tim.
Can't be mad. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? It was a pleasure, Tim, always having you on the podcast eating the entire time. It was great. Loved it.
Speaking of Tim, he's actually want to give a massive shout out to Katie, because she's fucking smashed it out the park, mate. I think she's down 24 pounds.
Wow. Awesome.
Like that.
That's fantastic.
When you were talking, Jack, earlier about how lockdown's given people, you know, might have pushed people the wrong way. I think for some individuals, you know, it has pushed them forward to, they've had a bit more extra time to actually look at themselves in the mirror and think, it's not good enough for me, you know. And if you can get better in shitty circumstances, when things are a little bit better, you can really try and move mountains with your progress.
For sure.
I'm just really proud of her, you know, and the confidence that comes with it, as we talked about earlier, is really just fucking sexy, isn't it? So
we love to see it. Yeah, fucking congrats to her. It's I can very much relate to that. Like I obviously ran the fucking transformation challenge over the first 8 weeks of the year or whatever, and taking just a bunch of random people through 8 weeks
opens their mind to a little bit of what we've been doing for 3 years.
Yeah, it's crazy how much, not just like I mean, sure, physical change is like a big part of it, and it's like why it's a transformation challenge at the end of the day, whether or not you agree with the idea of doing fucking transformation challenges. But I think I think it's also a transformation of the mindset because, like, for example, the one girl who ended up winning it, who now is staying on with me for another 8 weeks minimum. She as a mindset is entirely different from when she started. When she first started, she's asthmatic, and part of that is probably down to like her lack of physical fitness. Let's be real. So her going for that first 8 weeks, losing like over a stone, and then having had that perspective like over that time, she went in the beginning from being almost, I don't want to say afraid from going outside and going on a run, for example, but she was very put off by the idea. Very put off by the idea of doing something like that, or having that level of physical activity at all. Yeah. And now she's like, yeah, let's go. Another 8 weeks, let's go. Let's lose a stone. Like, and to her, like her mindset is massively shifted in that short space of time as a result. And that goes for a lot of people who have joined coaching, I imagine, over the past year.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Any final thoughts?
Jack, 3-course meal, prison meal.
I mean, I had a banging KFC yesterday, to be fair.
Oh, buzzing. What'd you have?
I had 20 fillets.
Nice. 20 whole fillets.
Any gravy?
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Gravy, so it's the fillets and the gravy.
Did you walk in to get it?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, did you? I was expecting you to walk in. The guy looks at you, looks you up and down, goes, say less, and just gets you 20 fillets.
Yeah, for one, yeah, I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, for one.
You fat bastard. There's your fucking diabetes.
Did you have a Diet Coke with it?
I think.
No, it's Coke.
I had a drink. I just had some Hydromax, mate. You know.
Yeah, that's how I like my KFC.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But I just obviously I've done a defeed recently, and I just one urge for KFC. And nice. I swear to God, the Colonel's chicken has just never tasted so good.
That defeed feeling, yeah. That was me post show. I missed that feeling.
Post show is just it's actually. I find post show, I'm that hungry. I can't even enjoy the food.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm just like I'm eating it, and I'm not even enjoying eating it because I'm thinking about the next thing, the next mouthful. I'm just constantly thinking about how much I could shove in my fucking face.
There's this fucking video somewhere online. I'll try and find it at some point and repost it. And it was taken by one of my friends who was with me on my last show day. And it's me sat like in the seat with like opposite Tim, having demolished a 2-person's platter of Nando's, just rubbing my fucking turtle shell stomach.
Oh man.
Just like eyes closed, laid back. That feeling, man. That euphoria.
It's regrettable after the pain. But I've done it times, and it's like I don't have any hindsight whatsoever. So like in my last prep, I've done it last time I fucking binged eat after prep. And, you just sit there with the pain and you're like, oh, God. And I remember just sitting in my living room and Molly's like, what's wrong with you? It's like, I've done it again. I've done it again. Doing it for a while.
The death of me is fruit juice post-show.
What? Fruit juice?
Fruit juice fucks me, apparently.
Is it just me, right?
I think it's just the concentrated sugar.
Do you get a massive surge of your blood sugar and then a super crash? Really
the dump is ridiculous afterwards. Not the physical shitting part, like the insulin and like it's just ridiculous. Like I ate, got home, passed out, woke up, drank a carton of Orangina or some shit, and then passed out again immediately afterwards.
All the brands of fizzy orange, you went for fucking Orangina.
No, man.
I find it's ridiculous when like I think it's very dangerous for myself to smoke weed post show. You know, just that period afterwards, because I can do it when I'm dieting and I'm fine. You know, I can do it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm a bit hungry, but I'll just stick to these oats. I'll be okay. Not even a temptation in my mind. After the show, you know,
dangerous.
I'm just like, yeah.
For me, it's anything like that. Anything post show that does anything at all to like alters your mood or anything like that is like probably not the smartest thing to do. Like post show, I went. You know Tom Roundtree, don't you, Joe? Yeah. So I went out basically to a club in Birmingham a week, like in the week post show.
3 lines of Charlie.
Because what I was really craving more so than actually food, really, was social interaction.
You need of a good woman.
And feeling like I could talk to people, because I wasn't convinced at that point that I could actually talk to people normally anymore. So yeah, it was just bad idea. Just ended up everyone. I didn't even pay any money for anything. Everyone just bought me shit because they were like, "Holy shit, he can do this now!" And they were I was just having Jaeger bomb after Jaeger bomb, and I hated it.
Sorry for you, because you're not even dragged in off the fucking street.
Me now.
No, before.
Oh, before, yeah. Me and I was gonna say both are valid points. But yeah, especially before, I looked like a crack addict. So, I by the way, just to clarify, I wasn't going in to get for coochie. Just to clarify, that was never the intent. And looking like a crack addict, it would have been impossible anyway.
I don't know, man. People like that look for some reason. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, look at what people are like. You know, they don't like bodybuilders.
It's true.
You get into
people don't like basketball.
And maybe that's like the perfect storm. Maybe looking like a crack addict in the face and having a bodybuilder's body is like the winning combo.
No, I just
a little bit of stage tan on still, you know.
The crack face, mate. That's all you know.
Just the crack face.
But I find like you get into bodybuilding and you think, wow, this is going to attract the females.
See, I never ever thought that.
It's just guys. I didn't start it for that reason. I just thought
I did think to myself, might be a little bit of a bone.
I mean, me and Jack, we've talked about in DMs before. Typically, if a woman's involved in any capacity and is showing interest in us, it's not her showing interest in us; it's her husband wanting us to fuck her, and that's typically how that goes. It's never the girl asking, ever.
She probably doesn't have a fucking clue.
No.
It's like, why is this guy in my fucking house? He's like, sorry, I forgot to tell you, but just open your legs just this once, man. It's my birthday next week. Come on.
He just like walks in the room and then just gets in the wardrobe and starts peeking out the wardrobe.
It's like,
with a bunny helmet on.
It's like, I'll get in the wardrobe. You just get yourself ready, you know?
Just hear, yeah, buddy, coming from the wardrobe.
This sounds too similar to a story one of our guests told us before.
This is a very real reality for a lot of bodybuilders.
Do you know what? Oh, it happens, man. It happens. Like,
yeah.
I could be very rich if I had a little bit less dignity.
Same. Yeah, I'd be making bank right now. Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, I don't want to be in that position where I'm haunted by a grapefruit video when I'm trying to get the Olympics.
Yeah. That being said, I'm still waiting on that guy to send me that £500 to stomp on his balls. Hasn't got back to me. He said he was saving up, but it never got back to me.
No.
Please explain this. We'll end the podcast on this story.
Oh, on this story. So there's this guy. He might have even messaged Jack as well. Who knows? But he said he's
same clients, really.
We have the same interest. So yeah, he sent a message to myself and Tim saying the usual stuff that you always get from these comments. Oh, you look pretty strong. winky face, all that jazz. I was like, yes. I think you surmised accurately. I'm fairly strong for my age. And he was like, so would you be interested in stomping on me and kicking me and stuff? I'll pay, of course. I'll pay extra for barefoot. And I was just, me and Tim were like, fuck it, let's play along. Tim sent him, I shit you not, a fucking essay.
It was this tier system.
It was a tier system that he made up. So it was like tier 3, 300 pound ball stomp, just your standard ball stomp. Tier 2, my friends are watching as well. Tier 1, bathroom stall barefoot, all that jazz. And wrote that up. I wasn't so convinced by this. I just went in with, I didn't realize we were doing it that intense. I know Tim's competitive, but that was a bit much for me. So I just went in with the just 500 quid. I'll tell my friends to come stomp on you as well.
Tell my friends to come stomp on you.
And he was like, oh, great, thank you. Yeah, I need to save up a bit more though, because that's obviously quite expensive. I'll get back to you. Still haven't heard back from him.
That's a bit expensive. He's like, okay, I'm going to start. I can see him like going into work and saying, I need overtime. Come on. I'm saving up, man.
Yeah. And somewhere out there, a guy is still saving up money to get his balls stomped.
I can imagine like a Rocky montage, just fucking pure.
The line of conversation was fucking hilarious though, because it was like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to sign a waiver as well, just in case you can't have kids. So that it was an interesting conversation.
Trying to not have kids, I think that is the purpose. He's like,
oh, yeah.
Like, I want to settle down now, honey, and he's like, can't say no.
Well, there was this lad's holiday in Magaluf before.
Yeah, but I always get like, it's very weird now. It fucks with my mentality when I get these people in my inbox, because I've learned now, I'm now associating someone complimenting me a lot with someone then asking me to perform a service for them.
Same, yeah.
I can't accept compliments now without thinking I'm being molested.
Same. I agree.
I asked Jack to be on the podcast, and he didn't reply for 4 days.
I had to consider it, man. I was like, do I send a dick? Does he want a dick pic? What does he need from me?
Feet pics. Thigh watermelon crushing videos. What's this about?
Like, what underwear have I got left?
I've still got my stage trunks pinned up on my wall. So
have you?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Do you want me to go grab them?
Yeah, sure.
I may as well do a sales pitch while we're talking about this stuff. Yeah. See what the interest is. Joking, everyone. I'll wait until I'm a bit more popular online and then sell it for like quadruple the price.
Plug the coaching or the support brand, you just plug in your own fucking. It's like, we have some nice Ralph Lauren.
Get yourself a framed set of Ralph Lauren trunks that were worn by Jermaine on this date in this show, and they've not been washed.
With a little vent right on the crotch part, so they can just go up and sniff.
Yeah. Oh no, it's like a on like balls you get like the flick caps so you can pop it open. It's like that because you want to seal in the flavor. Yeah.
Okay. What are you venting though? Are you venting the front, the underbit, or the back?
I think the gooch. I think that's optimal.
Yeah, both.
The gooch is the most prominent smart.
It's probably got the best flavor profile of the whole underwear. Yeah.
It's like a fusion restaurant, bit of both.
Yeah, it's got a nice bit of variation there.
Yeah, exactly. It's hybrid.
Anyone who's interested in that sort of stuff, don't fucking talk to us, by the way. You can go fuck yourselves. We don't want to talk to you. Like, go away.
Yeah, don't talk to us. Just message me.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually saying, but Mum's watching, so you never know.
Creeps.
Oh dear. Right, shall we end it there, for fuck's sake? Man. What a fucking end to the podcast.
I know, man. We were so serious, and then we just talked.
We went from talking our hearts out to sniffing gooches of underwear. You know.
What would you settle for, Mike? What would be
price?
If you're going to pay you for something which is a little bit weird, where would you draw the line?
Well, what as in what it is? Like, what would I be willing to sell?
Yeah,
what you would be willing to do.
Ball stomping's probably my limit, actually. Like,
I don't think I could do that.
But like, I'm wearing Timberland boots, so I'm not doing it barefoot.
Vibrams.
You don't want to feel it between your toes.
No.
Vibrams.
Fuck me.
That's a different.
Just got my V-Trex on, yeah.
Yeah, just Vibrams, man.
Fuck that. No, thank you.
Just leave a footprint on his bollock.
It's like a tire mark in the shape of a footprint.
Oh.
Fuck's sake.
Fucking hell, man.
Right, shall we fucking call it there? Yes. Fuck's sake. Right, thank you guys for listening and watching the Off the Script podcast. For all social medias, etc. Jack, do you want to plug yourself actually real quick before we leave?
Yeah, so my Instagram is jack.richardson_1. That is pretty much where I'm active. You know, I do coaching. My coaching company is Imperium Online Coaching, where I coach people to get on stage and to lose fat, gain strength, gain muscle, you know.
To get asked for ball stomping.
Yes, yeah. And if you want my OnlyFans, you have to message me privately. And, you know, you can set up a subscription-based service for my
tier system.
Yeah. No, someone actually messaged someone did message me for a subscription.
It just goes on and on.
So I did, man, and they were offering me like 200 quid a month. Wow, that's
for what?
Wow,
check-in pics or something.
They just wanted regular supply of my underwear.
I'd do it, man.
Yeah, man. Which is like, I'm like,
There's the shopping bill. So
that's more than I charge for my actual coaching.
Yeah,
it's like
does he want you to wear it?
50 quid a month, and I'm like. I had to contemplate at the time, but
any specific brands he was interested in, or
no, he just wanted nice, authentic skids.
Thank you, everybody, for
that was me plugging myself.
Everybody for
someone else finish this. I can't do it.
That's what we call a shameless plug.
Oh, fuck me.
I've never been so shameless plugging.
Yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Another episode of Off Script. We'll see you again next time.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Bye.